What if I told you that the simplest way to awaken strong emotions in a woman is not a line, not a trick, not a performance, but the way you arrange your attention in the present moment, so clean, so grounded, that her nervous system has no choice but to feel it. If you stay with me from the very first second to the last, you will walk away with a practical, repeatable method you can apply tonight. A way of speaking, a way of listening, a way of moving, and a way of leading that switches on attraction, curiosity, and desire without manipulation, without neediness, and without trying to be someone you are not. I'm going to give you the single sentence that reliably amplifies feeling, the 3-move sequence that unlocks connection in under 2 minutes, the voice and eye contact pattern that turns your presence into a magnet, and the boundaries that make a woman feel both safe and excited. You will not need props. You will not need to pretend. You will need composure, honesty, and the courage to direct the moment. That is the promise. Now let's build you into the man who keeps it. Start with this. Emotions are contagious before they are convincing. Long before a woman analyzes your words, her body is reading your rhythm, your breath cadence, your micro pauses, your pacing, the steadiness of your gaze, the warmth at the end of your sentences. Research on social attunement and the polyvagal perspective shows that our nervous systems continuously scan for cues of safety and leadership. When your system is settled, hers can open. When your system is chaotic, hers tightens. So the simplest way begins with the simplest discipline. Speak at a pace that feels unhurried. Let the edges of your phrases relax and finish your sentences as if you were placing them on velvet instead of tossing them across the table. Strong emotions awaken where stability and tension dance together. You provide the stability. Next, understand that intensity without attunement feels like pressure, while intensity with attunement feels like intimacy. Attunement is not guessing her life story. Attunement is demonstrating in the moment that you are actually hearing what she said and noticing how she said it. This has nothing to do with rescuing. It has everything to do with reflecting. A reliable lab-tested move from affect labeling research is to calmly name the flavor of the emotion you perceive. You do not diagnose, you do not interrogate, you simply reflect what is present. Example: that sounds exciting and a little frustrating. The instant you put simple, non-judgmental words to her felt experience, the hidden tension drops and space opens. Space is where attraction grows. Presence, then reflection. But there is a third ingredient most men forget: direction. Without direction, you become nice noise, pleasant but forgettable. With direction, you become the man who moves the moment forward. Direction is not domination. It is leadership expressed as clear invitations. After you reflect, invite with precision. I'm curious about that last part. Tell me more about what actually made it exciting. Or, that seems important to you. Let's step outside for a minute where it's quieter. When you pair reflection with direction, you create a feeling of being seen and being led. That combination is rare, and rare is attractive. Now let's refine the raw mechanics, because the body broadcasts louder than the mouth. Use the triangle of attention: eyes to her dominant eye, a soft focus to her lips when she speaks, and a brief return to her dominant eye when you respond. Keep it subtle. Your voice should descend slightly at the end of sentences. Downward inflection signals certainty and calms the listener. Upward inflection at the end of statements sounds like invisible question marks, which breeds uncertainty. Hold stillness between your sentences for a beat longer than your comfort. The extra beat does 2 things. It communicates composure and creates micro-anticipation, which is how you generate pull without pushing. A woman feels deeply when you speak to the right dimension of her identity. Most men talk to her surface: job, hobbies, travel. That's fine for comfort, but it rarely stirs anything meaningful. If you want to awaken strong emotions, aim 1 layer beneath content and target values, motives, and edges. Values are the themes she admires about herself: freedom, creativity, loyalty, growth. Motives are the currents that move her: challenge, novelty, contribution, expression. Edges are the places where she both craves and resists expansion. Discipline around health, asking for what she wants, trusting masculine leadership. When you talk to values, motives, and edges, you stop sounding like the background and start sounding like a signal. Here is the single sentence that reliably amplifies feeling because it does all three at once. What matters most to you about that, and what would push you just a little past your comfort zone there? It is clean, it is respectful, and it points directly at the roots of emotion. When she answers, you will feel the conversation drop to a deeper register. Do not rush to fill it. Hold the pause. Let the words land. Then reflect one phrase she used, almost verbatim, and build with a precise invitation. You said the word freedom twice. Tell me what freedom looks like on a Thursday afternoon. The sharper the invitation, the stronger the emotion it evokes, because specificity paints pictures, and pictures move feelings far faster than abstractions. This leads to the next principle: sensory concreteness. The limbic system, where emotion lives, responds more to concrete sensory language than to logic. If you want her to feel, stop stacking concepts. Start evoking images. Swap. That sounds interesting. For, there's a spark in your eyes when you talk about that. Swap. You seem confident. For, there's a grounded calm in the way you hold your shoulders. When you mirror back sensory details, not flattery, details, you prove you are paying attention, and attention is the most seductive currency on earth. Genuine attention cannot be faked, and she will feel the difference immediately. Now, let's address polarity, because emotion without polarity becomes friendship. Healthy polarity is the interplay of two complementary energies. Yours offers direction, integrity, presence. Hers offers expression, spontaneity, flow. Your job is not to suppress her expression, but to provide the container where it can expand without chaos. That means you take responsibility for clarity, where you're going, what you want, and what you will not tolerate. State preferences cleanly. Many men think directness will scare a woman away. In reality, unclear men feel unsafe. Directness with warmth is the formula. Try simple, embodied statements such as, "I like this, let's slow down and enjoy it," or "I'm not into rushing, I prefer quality over speed." Calm direction increases trust, and trust allows intensity to grow. It is also time to talk about novelty and uncertainty, two engines of dopamine. The brain's reward system responds strongly to variable patterns. That does not mean you turn into a roller coaster of unreliability. It means you add small, tasteful unpredictability to your timing and your compliments. If you text at the same minute every day, you train familiarity without surprise. If every message is a compliment, you dilute the impact. Replace routines with rhythms. Sometimes you end the conversation first with a warm line that hints at more. "I'm going to leave it here. I want to keep this feeling for later." Sometimes you switch settings without announcement. "Walk with me for 5. The small micro-surprises keep her mind engaged and her body curious, which is precisely where emotion intensifies, inside curiosity. But none of this works if you are approval-seeking, because approval-seeking contaminates every move with a silent question. Is this good enough? The antidote is a firm internal boundary. You approve of your direction first. That internal approval radiates as steadiness. Paradoxically, the less you reach for her validation, the more she feels drawn to explore you. Hold this standard. Choose your words before you speak them, and once released, let them be. Do not backpedal when your truth is clean. Do not over-explain. Power comes from concise commitment. Let's assemble a simple, repeatable sequence that unlocks connection in under 2 minutes. You can use it anywhere because it relies on fundamentals, not context. Step 1. Presence and scanning. Arrive, breathe quietly, no theatrics. Shoulders down, eyes steady, half smile. Step 2. Value targeting opener. Ask a question that aims at values, motives, or edges. What are you chasing this month that actually scares you a little? Step 3. Reflect a feeling and a detail. There's excitement in your voice and you tapped the table when you said, "Finally." Step 4. Directional invitation. Slow down and tell me the exact moment you knew you were going to do it. Step 5. Strategic silence. Count 2 full beats before your next line. This pause is not empty, it's charged. Step 6. Concise reveal. Offer a clean, honest piece of yourself aligned with the value she just named. I'm the same with craft. I'd rather do it right than do it first. Step 7. Move the frame. Change location, posture, or pace. Let's stand by the window. Better light. That shift refreshes attention and subtly signals leadership. 7 steps. Simple, potent, ethical. Now refine your voice, because voice is the instrument that carries your intention. Use a lower, relaxed register without forcing it. Project from your diaphragm, not your throat. Keep your sentences short, then occasionally let one sentence unfurl slowly like a ribbon. That contrast creates rhythm. End statements with a gentle downward glide. Sprinkle in micro pauses before key words you want her to feel. If you want the word beautiful to land, arrive at it slowly. There's something quietly beautiful about how you chose that. Your voice should feel like a safe room with an open window, secure, yet full of fresh air. Eye contact is your second instrument. Forget the stare down. Use living eye contact, engaged, then released, focused, then soft. Hold her gaze when she speaks about what matters. Release to the side briefly when she looks away. Re-engage when she returns. This pattern mirrors conversational breathing and signals that you are tuned to her pace, not just blasting intensity at her. If your gaze is a laser, it will burn. If your gaze is a lighthouse, it will guide. Let's anchor everything with the concept of tension and release. Because emotion lives in arcs, not straight lines. Too much tension without release feels oppressive. Too much release without tension feels dull. You are the architect of these arcs. Build tension with specificity, proximity, stillness, and low voice. Provide release with humor, warmth, and movement. A dry, subtle smile after an intense moment diffuses pressure and makes the intensity pleasurable rather than overwhelming. Play with the space between you. Take a half step closer when she leans in, a half step back when she needs room. This is not a trick. It's respect expressed physically. Humor deserves special attention. Study the principle behind why certain moments are funny. A tiny violation of expectation that remains safe. Benign violation theory. You can produce this by gently reframing something she says with a twist that reveals you were listening. Keep it light and never target insecurities. Humor is not about being the clown, it's about releasing built tension in a way that makes her body exhale. Laughter is an exhale with sound. Use it well and feelings deepen. Now let's give you the most underrated tool in attraction. Boundaries that protect your attention. When you protect your attention, you become valuable. Men who leak attention everywhere are forgettable. Pick 2 or 3 priority standards and live them in real time. For example, you do not complain, you propose. You do not chase uncertainty, you invite, then move on. You do not negotiate your self-respect to keep a moment going. When a woman feels that you value your time, your energy, and your direction, she feels safe to invest hers. Your boundaries are not walls. They are the edges that make your presence coherent. Coherence is magnetic. Let's talk about compliments because most compliments are cotton candy, sweet and forgettable. Real compliments are accurate, rare, and anchored in values. Accuracy means you point to something specific, cadence of speech, a precise choice, a small display of discipline. Rarity means you do not scatter them, you place them. Values anchored means you reference what it says about her character. The way you asked for, that directly tells me you value clarity over comfort. I respect that. Notice what just happened. You acknowledged a behavior, pointed to a value, and offered your standard. That wakes emotion without begging for anything in return. If you want a practical filter for what to say and what to skip, use the triangle of signal, sincerity, and stakes. Signal asks, does this line demonstrate a real trait of mine? Taste, standards, direction? Sincerity asks, is this something I would say if no one were watching? Stakes ask, does this move the moment forward, toward truth, toward action, toward intimacy? If your next sentence does not score on at least 2 points, hold it. Silence is often the most masculine choice in the room. Now, I told you earlier that I would give you a 3-move sequence to break surface tension and tap the emotional current quickly. Here it is distilled. Move 1. Mirror one word she just used that carries emotional weight and isolate it. Disappointed? Then stop. Let her fill it. Move 2. Reflect the feeling and add a soft hypothesis about the value being touched. Feels like loyalty matters to you more than convenience. Move 3. Offer a crisp, embodied invitation. Walk me through the moment it shifted. These three moves pull her attention from narrative to nerve endings, from story to sensation. That is where emotion wakes. To make all of this sustainable, build environments that do half the work for you. Choose locations with acoustics that invite lower voices and slower pacing. Avoid seats that trap you shoulder to shoulder without the option to shift posture. Choose places where you can stand, lean, and reposition gracefully. Lighting matters. Softer light relaxes facial tension and encourages the eyes to linger. Micro-context is leverage. Use it. Let's install a pre-date ritual that sets your nervous system to lead. You are not going to hype yourself up. You are going to strip away noise. For 5 minutes, audit your body. Jaw unclenched, tongue resting on the roof of your mouth, shoulders down, breath quiet. Review your 3 standards. Choose a simple intention. I will listen for values and direct with warmth. That is enough. Men lose presence by trying to carry 10 rules into the moment. Carry 1 intention and 2 standards. Simplicity is power. When you speak, speak for you. Replace "I'm sorry" with "thank you for waiting." Replace "I hope this is okay" with "here's what I'd like." Replace "I don't know, what do you want?" with "I have 2 ideas." Pick one. Clear language wakes emotion because it cuts through static. Static kills feeling. Clean decisions create it. We also need to address a common sabotage: over-explaining your intentions to prove you are a good man. Good men do not lecture about how good they are. They behave in alignment and allow time to reveal it. If you feel the urge to prove, pause. Return to the triangle: signal, sincerity, stakes. Do your next words carry a real signal? Are they sincere? Do they move anything forward? If not, choose stillness. Stillness makes your next move heavier. Touch, when appropriate and invited, should follow the same laws: clarity, calibration, and consent. In early stages, your calibration comes from reading her body language, orientation toward you, duration of eye contact, softness of shoulders, congruent warmth in her voice. If you are unsure, ask with directness that honors her autonomy. "I'd like to hug you hello. Okay with that?" The same applies later. "Sit with me here?" Or "Give me your hand for a second." Simple, clear, elegant. Nothing awakens emotion faster than being desired and respected at the same time. Your digital presence should mirror your real presence. Keep messages short, specific, and purposeful. Do not unload your life through a phone. Create momentum in person. Use messages to confirm logistics and to plant one sensory seed that evokes the shared moment. Still thinking about that cinnamon aftertaste you pointed out? One line, one image, one memory. That's it. The more you type, the less she feels. Let's craft the most reliable opening frame for a first conversation that pulls her into feeling quickly. It looks like this: "Hi, I like your taste in specific thing you actually noticed. I'm name." Pause for her name. 2 questions for you. What's lighting you up this week, and what are you intentionally ignoring? The first question invites expression. The second question teases the edge, what she is avoiding, and edges carry emotional charge. When she answers, you reflect one feeling and one value. Then you lead the next beat. Cool, 10 minutes, walk with me. If she cannot, you gracefully set the next step. Another time, Tuesday, 7. We'll continue this. Clarity turns dust into direction. Understand the physics of scarcity and abundance in attention. Scarcity of attention creates obsession only when the attention has already been experienced as high quality. If your presence is average, pulling away breeds indifference. If your presence is rich, attentive, directed, grounded, then your scarcity creates pull. Therefore, your first goal is not to be scarce, it is to be rich. Be rich in attention, rich in standards, rich in direction. Then curate your availability. Now we sharpen your calibration through 3 quick self-checks during interactions. First check: am I speaking from tension or from direction? Tension words feel tight, defensive, rushed. Direction words feel simple, forward, chosen. Second check: am I asking for reassurance or am I offering clarity? If you are fishing for reassurance, close your mouth. Offer clarity instead. Third check: am I trying to be impressive or am I being specific? Specific always beats impressive. Specific is believable. Specific is felt. A woman cannot feel you if you refuse to be felt. That means you reveal concisely the standards you live by and the preferences you actually have. It is not about dumping your past. It is about letting her touch the contours of your present. Say things like, "I'm serious about sleep and training, so late nights are rare for me." Or, "I don't do sarcasm when it cuts. I prefer humor that warms the room." When your preferences are visible, she knows what to press against playfully and what to relax into. Invisible men produce weak feelings. Visible men produce strong ones. Let's nail the close of a conversation because the ending is what her body remembers first. Do not fade. End with a clean, embodied decision. If you want to see her again, say so plainly. Then propose a specific time and structure that fits your standards. "I want to continue this, and I do best in quiet places. Thursday at 7, a small wine bar I like." If she hesitates, do not chase with 5 alternatives. Hold your ground. Offer one backup and release. If Thursday fails, Sunday afternoon. Otherwise, we'll leave it. Your release is not indifference. It is assurance that you value your time. That assurance is deeply attractive. Here is the 10-second ritual before you meet her that will change the quality of your presence. Stand tall. In your mind, state 3 truths. One about what you appreciate in yourself today, one about what you appreciate in women generally, and one about what you will bring to the next hour. For example, "I appreciate my steadiness. I appreciate feminine spontaneity. I bring direction and calm." This is not fluff. It orients your attention toward gratitude and agency, 2 states that naturally radiate warmth and leadership. Walk in like that, and emotion wakes faster because you already embody the container. You are going to encounter tests. Not every test is a challenge. Many are simply checks for congruence. If she throws a light tease, do not defend. Redirect with a smile. You'll need better material than that. If she withholds a clear answer, do not push. Frame and lead. "I like clear yes or no. We'll circle back in a minute." If she escalates speed you do not want, you slow her with warmth and direction. "I want this unrushed. It's better that way." Every test is an invitation to embody your standards. When you do, emotion deepens because trust deepens. She feels you can hold the moment. Now consider the ethics that make your intensity safe. Everything you do should increase autonomy, not reduce it. Everything you say should be true, not theatrically true. Everything you invite should be reversible, not trapping. You never punish boundaries, you praise them. You never weaponize silence, you use it to give space. You never withhold kindness to produce chase. You choose when to invest because your energy matters. Attraction built on integrity lasts longer and burns brighter because the nervous system does not have to fight you to enjoy you. If you want a minimalist toolkit you can carry everywhere, commit these to memory. Speak slower than the room. Let the ends of your sentences fall. Reflect feelings with 2 words, then invite with 1 precise question. Aim at values, motives, and edges. Compliment specifics, rarely and accurately. Decide cleanly. Protect your attention. Lead with warm clarity. Adjust space and pace. Close with a decision, not a drift. If you do nothing but these, you will consistently awaken emotion because you consistently offer what is rare. Calm intensity, directed warmth, visible standards. I promised a line you can use anywhere that often turns on depth instantly. Here it is, and it works because it fuses curiosity, respect, and direction. Tell me the part you almost didn't say. Use it once, not as a hammer. When she gives you that part, do not interrogate. Acknowledge the courage and slow down. Thank you. That matters. Then lead the next step. Change setting, adjust proximity, or suggest the next time you see each other. Depth without direction feels heavy. Depth with direction feels alive. Practice in low stakes. Hold your posture in the grocery line. Lower your voice with the barista. End sentences cleanly with friends. Reflect and invite in everyday talk. By the time you are with a woman you desire, these moves should be muscle memory. You are not performing. You are being a man whose attention is trained, whose standards are clear, whose presence is a gift. That man does not chase emotion. He awakens it by being himself fully, directing lightly, and listening with his whole body. You are not here to collect reactions. You are here to create a field where truth feels good. In that field, a woman can feel excited, safe, playful, and drawn all at once. That is the heart of attraction. It is not the drama, it is the density of your presence. Warm, grounded, decisive. Begin with the simplest discipline. Arrange your attention, slow your voice, hold the pause, reflect and invite. Move the moment forward. The rest will follow because emotion follows leadership, and leadership starts with the way you breathe, choose, and speak in this exact second. So here is your compact mission for the next conversation you enter. Arrive steady. Ask the question that targets values and edges. Reflect one feeling and one detail. Invite with precision. Pause. Reveal one standard of your own. Create a small shift in space or pace. Place one specific compliment anchored in character, not appearance. Close with a clear next step. If you do that, you won't need to force anything. You will watch her eyes brighten, her shoulders relax, her voice soften or spark, and you will feel the moment change. That is emotion waking up, not because you pressured it, but because you provided what very few men provide, a calm, honest frame that invites her to bring her full self forward. Be that frame. Everything else becomes simple.